Hey everyone, and welcome to another Game Explained discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Ash Paulson to discuss the final 3 DLC characters that were leaked for Hyrule Warriors Legends, namely Yuga, Ravio, and Toon Zelda. So let's get started. Well, Ash, I know you play a little bit of Hyrule Warriors. I'm not sure if you've ever even tried Legends at all, but obviously the DLC is kind of a big deal even if you don't play Legends, because you can still play it on the Wii U, just without all the extra stuff. It's just the character usually that you're getting, or the weapons that come out. But there are still 2 more DLC packs, which were involved 3 more characters, and I don't know the exact details behind it, but basically I forget his name off the top of my head, but someone was able to look into the game's files and saw temporary files for future DLC, which was just, there was NPC character model sheets, and you had them in different states of emotions, and towards the bottom there were pictures of Link in these emotions, except they had character names on top of them, and they were 3 characters that were not in the game, which is basically how it was revealed. And this seems like one of those leaks that's pretty much legit. Nobody seems to be doubting this at all. So unlike a lot of the other rumors and leaks that we've covered, this one is pretty much a guarantee. So I guess just right off the bat, what do you think of these 3 choices?
Kind of safe and maybe a little disappointing. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I think they'll be cool, or at least 2 of them will be cool, but I think overall they're really kind of a lot safer than I was hoping they would play it. And honestly, Marin ended up being the most interesting new character of this final set, in my opinion.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. I mean, the cool thing is, it's cool. It's awesome to have Yuga having another villain. I appreciate that. Ravio could be interesting. Toon Zelda, I think that's the bad choice.
That's the thing, is that Toon, we literally already have Toon Zelda, because that's Tetra. Tetra literally is Toon Zelda, and it's like, we're playing as the same character. Yes, I know they're in 2 different forms, and I know that we technically have never played as Toon Zelda in her, princess form. I get that, but I don't know. Why not Burn? I feel like Burn from Spirit Tracks would have been so much more interesting a character and a more surprising choice.
It would have been a more surprising choice, but there's also, you're missing out on Linebeck, who is the most obvious choice if you're going off of the Spirit Tracks Phantom Hourglass pack.
Yeah, and I know that was one of our initial predictions, that it would be Linebeck, and I still agree with that, but at the same time, I've thought about it more since then, and I think maybe the reason they didn't go with Linebeck is because he would have ended up being really similar to Tetra. I mean, they're fundamentally very similar characters in terms of the fact that they're seafarers, piratey. I just feel like he has a gun, Tetra has a gun, cannonballs, Tetra has that. I just feel like maybe their motif was maybe too similar.
That's a very real possibility, and I could definitely understand that sort of idea. Bjorn, I didn't play all of Spirit Tracks, but he was the one that had sort of like the claw hand, right?
Yeah, and he's kind of a unique, interesting character in the Zelda mythos, much more interesting in my opinion than Toon Zelda.
The thing is, they could still be pretty interesting with Toon Zelda if they go off of her Spirit Tracks incarnation. I think that's where the key lies here.
Yeah, because, we already have so many incarnations of Zelda in this game that can use light arrows and the kind of spiritual powers that I associate with Toon Zelda already. So I'm hoping they kind of go more, like you said, the Spirit Tracks route, with her having, the phantom powers and her spiritual powers as a ghost, rather than just kind of like the holy maiden warrior of light type thing that we already have in Hyrule Warriors Zelda and Tetra even, to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I have a feeling that's probably what we'll see, because as you said, we already have, that might be why they didn't go with Linebeck, because it was too similar to Warriors we already had. So right. I am expecting pretty much Spirit Tracks Zelda when it comes to this. Before we move on to the Yuga and Ravio, I will say a lot of people are, of course, disappointed that Groose was not chosen. But when you saw the DLC packs, you saw that Marin was the choice for the Link's Awakening pack. There is no way Groose was ever going to make it in. Not in this.
Well,
DLC.
Groose's chance died with the Skyward Sword pack not having him initially.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if there was a Skyward Sword pack, but none of these other games named after, or none of the other packs named after other games would have had any chance of including Groose, in my opinion. So to me, he was never even on the table when we found out the names of all of these upcoming packs. But it would have been nice to have him, I agree.
No, he would have been a great character to have. He's a very interesting character. He's obviously well beloved by the Zelda fan base, but for whatever reason, they just didn't choose him. But this series has sold pretty well. I would not be surprised if they did an Hyrule Warriors, maybe an actual sequel.
And honestly, we don't even know that the DLC characters for Hyrule Warriors and Legends are over, because they kind of suggested in the past that they were going to be over, and then they came out with like another whole set. So who knows? We may even get more characters beyond this.
We may, but I'm not really seeing that because it's just the slow death of the Wii U.
That's a good point. But they might be thinking in terms of Legends.
That could be that could be true as well. I actually have no idea how well Legends sold, because it is undoubtedly the better version. Legends has so many improvements over Warriors that makes it fantastic, but it loses that sort of oomph that the Wii U version has.
It's just so much less playable because of the lesser horsepower in the 3DS. It is playable on a new 3DS, but I still find the overall experience... I did play it, actually. I played it on a few occasions, and I still find the overall experience to be lacking simply because the audiovisual element just isn't up to snuff compared to the Wii U version, which, of course, that's to be expected because it's a 3DS, but I just feel like a game, like a Warriors game, a Dynasty Warriors game, needs to have that audiovisual oomph that Legends doesn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. And you can definitely feel it. It's still fun. It still does the job, especially, well, at least on new 3DS. Never played the game on regular 3DS. It is just, you can't, once you experience it on new 3DS, it is impossible to go back. And it's even then, it's still tough to play because it's just so obvious where the slowdown's coming in. But the thing is, I love all the improvements that Legend brought to it. There's a lot of good ideas here, and to see it just be on the handheld, where I honestly, I would be very curious to see the sales numbers of Legends compared to Wii U.
Me too, because apparently Hyrule Warriors on Wii U was a surprising sales success. Mm-hmm. Like even Tecmo were surprised by how well it's continued to do.
Yeah. That's what I heard as well. It's what actually, I think, what helped convince Square to release Dragon Quest Heroes, because they saw the success of that and they were hoping the same sort of thing, but I don't think they did as well. I'm not sure on that.
Not quite, yeah. Well, because Dragon Quest in America has so much less of a presence than Zelda. Zelda has a monumental presence in every territory, whereas Dragon Quest is really only big in Japan.
Yeah, which is a shame, but anyway, moving on to our other DLC, we have our Link Between Worlds pack, which includes Yuga and Ravio. And how do you feel about these two choices?
At the same time, I think I maybe sounded a little too negative when I said they were safe. They are safe, but at the same time, I feel like they're appropriate. Mm-hmm. When you think of A Link Between Worlds, you think of those two characters and Hilda. And I feel like Hilda, again, we have so many versions of Zelda in this game already, and now including Toon Zelda as well, that maybe Hilda would have felt a little too samey. Like, I don't really know that we got a sense in A Link Between Worlds of how Hilda's powers differ from Zelda's other than just being dark.
Yeah, that seems to make the only way. The funny thing is now we have spoilers from Link Between Worlds, another version of Link, who already has his normal version, Toon version, Young version, and now alternate reality version.
Yeah, and I can see where people might think what I just said is hypocritical when you consider that Ravio is yet another version of Link. But in this case, I can already see in my mind how Ravio would be completely differentiated from every other version of Link in this game, because he alone, I imagine, will have unique access to the various weapons and items in A Link Between Worlds, like the Sand Rod, for instance.
Yeah, I could totally see the Sand Rod being at play. I could sort of see his personality where he's sort of cowardly or looking, has a very different personality from the other Links. Ravio is very much his own character.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what they can do with him. I haven't really been disappointed in the presentation of any of the characters they've introduced. They've always been pretty fun.
No, me neither. And I absolutely don't think Ravio is going to be an in-your-face kind of physically strong character like Link and Toon Link, for example. Absolutely, because of the kind of character he is, I think he's going to kind of hang back, as you said, be a little more cowardly, and probably mostly use ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense, and be definitely different to attack from so far away, and being able to do all that. And I gotta say, I'm probably most excited about Yuga. Yuga has such a unique personality, and to have those paint powers, you could just imagine what they could do with that.
Exactly. If we're not counting Marin, who I was, out of these four, I would say I was most excited about Marin in hindsight. But yeah, if not counting Marin, I would say Yuga's probably who I'm most interested to see, that translation into Hyrule Warriors as well. Ravio, I am actually still pretty interested because I'm curious to see all the unique ways in which they'll use all the different items in The Link Between Worlds, but I feel like Yuga definitely has the most original potential as a character that, probably a lot of people never thought they'd get to play as.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's, it was sort of up in the air which characters they would choose, but Yuga just has a kind of a different personality. It's kind of a split between Ganon and, I'd say, I'm blanking on his name, but the villain from Skyward Sword.
Oh, Demise.
No.
Oh, sorry, you mean Girahim, of course, yeah, not Demise, yeah. Yeah, he has kind of like that playful, kind of a dark jester-like personality, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having that and the Eye of Beauty, you can just see his personality really flowing out, because they did that with Zant, where they took these just character moments that were really not played up that much in Twilight Princess and just brought them to the forefront. Yeah. And I think they'll do the same with Yuga.
Yeah, I think so too. And I can already even just see the kind of really cool combo attacks that they could kind of design for Yuga, with him kind of summoning paintings and having things pop out of the paintings, or sealing enemies within paintings and doing damage like that. Like, there's going to be so many cool ways in which Yuga can attack because he's so unique.
Absolutely. And just imagining his, going into his beast form for, his special attack or his ultimate attack or whichever. There's so many cool things they could do with Yuga, and I don't know, I'm excited to see where they go with it.
I was actually going to say, I wonder if Ganondorf, trident-wielding pig Ganon will make a cameo in one of Yuga's special attacks, just because, again, sorry, Link Between Worlds spoilers, Yuga is eventually kind of subsumed by Ganon and becomes him.
Kind of,
sort of.
Except Yuga kind of retains control, which was actually
he does
the most surprising thing.
Yeah, he kind of does he in the last form? I can't remember. I guess he kind of does.
I think he pretty much does. There's never a point where it's outright this is Ganon. It's mostly this is Yuga, which is always kind of cool. So there's a lot of potential there, and this is only the character stuff, though. These are only, just characters we learned about. And, there's honestly not too much else to say about them. But there is still one surprise coming in the Spirit Tracks, I believe, DLC. Which is Toon Link is getting another weapon. Sort of like how Linkle got a new weapon along with Marin. So that's the trade-off. Is it's new weapon and character, 2 new characters, new weapon, and new character. So, What do you think the new weapon for Toon Link could be? If we're pulling from Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
It's been long enough since I played those games.
Yeah, I'm the same way that I'm struggling as well to think, what would stand out. I kind of want to see Toon Link, run around in a train, but that's never going to happen.
I mean, I could almost see Toon Link getting the Spirit Flute as a weapon and attacking with trains in various ways. I could almost see that happening. I feel like that's a little too limited. I feel like there's only so much they could really actually do with that, but I could see them going in a direction like that. But I don't know if it would just be the Spirit Flute.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I mean, we know that he already uses the Deku Leaf, and that's from Wind Waker anyway, so it probably wouldn't be that. That's a good question. I wonder if it would even be his ship. I don't know how they would do that, but he does have a little mini boat in Phantom Hourglass that they could maybe do something like they did with the King of Red Lions. But again, that would be thematically similar. Or King Daphnis. So, man, I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I'm racking my brain. I like I said, I didn't actually finish Spirit Tracks, so I'm not fully sure about his full repertoire, but I don't think there's any unique items that has that doesn't have. The thing that sticks out about Spirit Tracks is the train. And, we got crazy with who the character could be from Link's Awakening, with Link's uncle riding the Windfish, and we kind of got that. Marin rides the Windfish at one point. So
True.
Maybe we'll get lucky here and Link will be driving around the Spirit Tracks or the Spirit Train, and maybe not fully, but I will say that that might be one of his attacks. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't either. And I'm actually looking at a list of Spirit Tracks items right now and kind of refreshing my memory, and there are a few possibilities here. There's the Whirlwind, which might be a little too similar to other things that other characters can already do, but there's also the Whip.
Ooh.
And I'm wondering if I can't think of a character who has a whip-like weapon yet in Hyrule Warriors, so that could be it.
That would be, that'd be really cool.
And I feel like there are a lot of ways they could play with Toon Link's personality having a whip. I feel like they'd have a lot of fun with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I'm pretty sure a Dynasty Warriors character has used whips before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility for Omega Force. So,
right.
So, yeah. I'd say combination whip Spirit Train.
Yeah, and actually, I'm thinking it almost has to be something from Spirit Tracks. I'm looking at Phantom Hourglass items now, and there weren't as many, really any unique items in that game that I can see. So the only other possibility that I can see is a cannon, and Link does get a cannon to attach to his train in Spirit Tracks. So he could just carry around a little handheld cannon almost, which would be really cute.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It makes me think of Shantae in the Pirate's Curse, how she has that cannon that she uses for a double jump.
That's a good point. Yeah, so maybe something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But yeah, I'm going to hedge my bets on maybe either the cannon or the whip. The whip seems like a very likely possibility.
Yeah, now that you've mentioned that, I agree with you. I think we'll go with the whip, and yeah, I mean, I guess that would be it. That would cover all the DLC that we currently know about, but I'm not expecting, honestly, any more. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing we can get is just new costumes and new adventure mode maps, and of course new fairy costumes, which I haven't bothered with that at all, so...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like if they ever release like a Ultimate Edition of Hyrule Warriors and NX with all these characters and all the extra scenarios and maps and everything on NX, I'd be totally down for that. But as it is, I've already played enough of the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors, and I enjoyed that, just booting that up enough to try out the new characters enough to where I don't need to buy Legends and play through all that content again.
Yeah, that's a level of dedication and time that we don't have.
Frankly, we just really don't have that time.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, to be fair, I haven't even, or to be honest, I haven't even bought Marin yet, or bought that pack to try Marin, and I'm super excited about her. So that's how little time we have to do all the content in this game.
Yeah, best I got was I completed the original adventure mode map. Haven't barely touched the other adventure mode maps that you got with the original DLC, so...
Right.
Yeah. But, well, anything else to say about the leak or the DLC or anything else about Legends?
Other than just the fact that nothing's sacred anymore. You know, data miners and their patches and their leaks. I mean, hey, it's a legit way to get information now. It knows it worked with Smash, but I do wish things were kept surprises, you know. It would have been nice to be surprised by this.
It would have been, but this one doesn't bother me as much just because
True.
It is such a lower profile game and it's just DLC.
This isn't like Cloud in Smash levels anywhere near it. So
no, exactly.
At least that remained a secret still.
Yeah, exactly. But I get you. I mean, the surprise is still nice to have, but
yeah,
what can you do? Alright, well, I think that covers it for our Hyrule Warriors discussion, so thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Zelda and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye.